Hello everyone and welcome into Deacon's NFL Talk. I'm your host Deacon and welcome back to those of you who watched my other Deacon's NFL Talk channel. I cannot believe I am back with more episodes. So as you saw on the title, episode 1, I am starting over because if I upload old episodes, I won't have all of them. That's sadly for me. But yeah, I'm just glad to be back. And we have quite a bit of topics. Alright, this was a fun week. NFL news-wise. Well, not really as a Bengals fan. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. As a Bengals fan, not a fun week, but overall, NFL news-wise, it's been pretty interesting. So, yeah, we have 3 players that are out for the year in this episode that I know of right now. So far, 3, and that's just, probably a record at some point. And then we have, 4 new signings, and then we have a question of the week. And that all starts next on Deacon's NFL Talk. Alright, everybody, we're going to jump right into this. So let's start off with the first topic. And this first one is really sad. This former Raiders defensive back, DJ Hayden, has passed away. So the way it happened, though, is what makes it even more sad. And, it says the former Raider, Jaguar, and Lions quarterback was among 6 others killed in a car wreck, which is crazy if you think about it. So I don't really know if they were six some people in one car and they crashed, or if it was him and then 5 others just in a separate car. I don't have a lot of info on this one. Typically when people pass away, I don't have a lot of info on it. But yeah, just really sad. He sounds familiar. He sounds really familiar. I just can't think. I just can't think of who it could be. So, yeah, just really sad news. All right, the second topic. Jaguars wide receiver Zay Jones has been arrested. So this one is actually, I don't really understand. Sometimes I don't really understand these a lot, and this one is one of them. Jones was admitted at 6:03 p.m. Eastern Time for misdemeanor domestic battery. Now, I don't have a lot of info on this one either. Jones was also accused of bodily harm according to the sheriff's office inmate report, and Jones remains in custody as of Tuesday. So he could be out of it by now. I don't know anything about any of that really. I just know he got arrested. I don't know how long custody is. It could be short. I have no absolute idea. But hopefully he gets out fast. He's not actually really done that good for the Jaguars this year. I mean, he hasn't really played a lot. Right, topic number 3. Bills fire offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. Now, this is the correct call. You had to do this. But Joe Brady is to take over as interim offensive coordinator, replacing Ken Dorsey. And we've kind of seen it. No, I think it's time for the Bills to do something different. I mean, because the Bills, we got to be real. They have not been looking amazing this year. It's just, what happened? What happened to the Bills and Bengals? I mean, I guess can't really say that for the Bengals yet because, I mean, Burrow had a calf injury, and, you could definitely tell that the calf was affecting it. Then, week 5, he was perfect. He was just fine. He was healed. And then I think that really turned him around. But, yeah, the Texans got lucky for sure, in my opinion, with Boyd dropping the ball. We saw what a healthy Joe Burrow looked like in week 5, week 8. We saw what he looked like. And it's definitely scary. It's, the fact that he is just still Joe Burrow. Yeah. So, yeah, but back to the Ken Dorsey topic. I think it's time because, the Bills just... What happened? What happened? I don't know what happened. They're just not. the Bengals kind of like beat them. Like, I mean, it was only like 6 points, but still, like, I just don't know what happened to I don't know what happened to the Bills this year. Like, the question is, are they good anymore? I think they are good. They have talent. We'll see, because I don't remember. Did they play last week? I don't remember. They might have. All right. Topic number 4. Cowboys Leghton, Vander Esch. Oh yeah, this is the 4th one. Cowboys Leghton, Vander Esch to miss the remainder of 2023 season. So we actually have 4 players in this episode that are out for the year. That's insane. That's how crazy of a week it's been. But Vander Esch suffered a season-ending neck injury back in 2019 and was diagnosed with a condition called cervical spinal stenosis, a narrowing of the spinal column in the back in the neck. So that I always seen him wear that, like, the thing that he has in the back on his jersey, like this neck thing. I always wondered what it was. Maybe to have something. I don't really know what it was. Then I saw this. I was like, if he entered it back in 2019, that's probably why he has it. But the crazy part about this is that his Vander Esch's career is in jeopardy right now. Like, he might not play again. That's the crazy part about it. If you injure your neck, that's not good. If you injure your neck, that is one of the worst injuries ever. Like, because your neck is like, you can move it. Like, if you have a neck injury or a back injury is awful too. Like, back and neck injuries, you don't want to have. Do not want to have it all. So, hopefully, Vander Esch will play again. He probably shouldn't. Really, he probably shouldn't play again, honestly. Our next one, Texans linebacker Denzel Perryman suspended for 3 games. Now, Perryman was suspended after violating the NFL's player safety rules. Perryman hit Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase helmet from my standpoint, helmet to helmet, when Chase clearly stood on the ground before he was hit by Perryman. Okay, so I don't have any video footage of this. I tried to look for it. I just couldn't find it whatsoever. But yeah, I could definitely tell. It was a clear penalty. Like, easy penalty. And I'm just not really surprised because he also, Perryman has committed six of these violations in his career, one of them happening in week 2. Now, another thing that at first when I saw that he was suspended was, I was like, oh, I better know why. Because, like, in that game, like, Perryman was, like, pushing the Bengals tight end Tanner Hudson out of the end zone for some reason to try and get on, to try and get, like, a illegal touching penalty. But, like, the ref saw that. There was a ref in the back of the end zone. He's literally shoving Tanner Hudson out of the end zone and, like, pushed him on the ground. It's ridiculous. I just, like, come on. And I'm glad he got fouled for the targeting because I'm glad he got suspended because he kind of deserves it, honestly. But, yeah, definitely a crafty veteran. All right, Patriots quarterback Mac Jones doesn't know if he'll be the starter after the bye week. So I'm not really surprised by this. Really, the Patriots should move on from Belichick and Mac Jones at this point. Jones said we haven't talked about that yet, referring to the starting job. So let's see. I think they still have Bailey Zapp, I believe, right? They still have Bailey Zapp. I think they'd re-sign Malik Cunningham, which is good because I'm really high on him. So in my opinion, I think we saw what Malik Cunningham can do in the preseason, but, like, honestly, this is where you see what Malik Cunningham can do in a real game. It's like Bailey Zapp has played in a real game before. Malik Cunningham really hasn't. It's like this is what the Patriots should do. All right, your season's basically over. You're not going to the playoffs this year. Let's face the facts. This is the perfect point in time where you see what Malik Cunningham can do, or a quarterback that has never really played in a regular season game before. This is where you see what they can do and what they're capable of doing. I know Malik Cunningham is a great runner. He can throw the ball. I think this is a perfect time for the Patriots to see what he's capable of. So, all right, our second one. Deshaun Watson out for the year. This is our second out for the year topic. But Deshaun Watson suffered a season-ending shoulder injury. And not the greatest injury ever. Hopefully he heals. I mean, coming from a Bengals fan, like, I have a lot of respect for the Browns. I have a lot of respect for their defense. Probably the best defense in the league right now. I'm not going to lie. Better than the Jets, obviously. I think really better than the Ravens. Let's be real. That Browns defense is good. Like, really, really good. I mean, Myles Garrett. When you think of the Browns defense, you think of Myles Garrett. I mean, that's what you think of. Then you got Zadarius Smith on the other side. You have Greg Newsome on the corner, Denzel Ward. They have a lot of big names on the defense. And I think their defense, I don't really see people talking about it much, so I think they're underrated, but I don't really see people talking about it, so I think they're definitely underrated. But, yeah, definitely a really good defense. But, like, for Deshaun Watson, I mean, it's not, as a Browns fan, you're, like, happy, but you're not happy because what has Deshaun Watson really done this year? I mean, hasn't done much. So, like, I like DTR. In the preseason, I really liked him. I thought it was the biggest draft steal, but I think that's Puka Nacua at this point. But yeah, like, I think you got to see what DTR can do, because I think you can definitely get in the playoffs. I mean, the Bengals are most likely out of reach for division winning. But yeah, at this point, let's just see what DTR is capable of winning a regular season game. Obviously, you want to win at this point, because, I mean, you're close to the playoffs. Let me see. Like, they're definitely, like, the NFL's been crazy this year. Like, Dolphins are going 6-3. Bills, I don't really see it happening, honestly. I'm not going to lie. Jets, not likely. Chiefs, yes. Nobody else in their division, really. I can see the Ravens, Steelers, and Browns all going. So, in my opinion, for the playoff picture predictions, this is no particular order. It's going to be Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Jaguars, and possibly Texans. Like, if the Bengals hadn't lost Joe Burrow, I would have said the Texans would have missed the playoffs. But now I think the Texans are going to be at least a 7 seed most likely, because you're not going to get past the Dolphins, face the facts. Not going to get past the Chiefs. You're not going to get past the Ravens. Ravens are a really good football team. Steelers, they're hanging in there. I would be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised if they got past the Steelers. You're not getting past the Browns. You're just not happening. I don't think you get past the Jaguars, though they have to figure some things out. And really, I can see the Texans being a 7 seed, because what's their schedule? Their schedule's decent. Like, Cardinals, W, Jaguars, loss. Broncos, that'll be a good game, but W. I think they barely beat the Jets. You beat the Titans, lose to the Browns. You lose to the Titans. You're splitting with the Titans, and then, Colts, Texans. That's who we go on. I think you get past the Colts. So really, at least a 7 or 6 seed, in my opinion. I mean, you're not beating the Jaguars. You're not beating the Browns. You're not beating the Titans. You'll beat the Titans once. I think they'll split with the Titans. It'll be a close game in Indianapolis, though. But yeah. So, next topic, and this topic is not a very good one if you're a Bengals fan. It's just really disappointing. Joe Burrow suffers a season-ending wrist injury, and so I was like, I had Bengals news open, and then so I was looking up Bengals news, and it just said Joe Burrow wrist injury timeline, don't know, whatever. It just said however long he'd be out for. And that's before I saw he was out for the season. And then I refreshed it a couple times because it went out 100%. And then ESPN said Bengals QB Joe Burrow out for season, likely needs surgery. And I was just like in shock. Like, I was just not happy. Alright, so I do actually have footage, like video of this, and we're going to look at it here. Alright, 2nd and goal. The Bengals have the football. Alright, we're like a little close to the 4. We're like in between the 5 and 4 yard line. And here's the play. All right, so you play it here.
To the outside. Reaching down, making the grab, and taking it to the end zone.
Looks like they're attacking these linebackers, which we did the same thing here with Boyd to the linebacker.
You can see Burrow right here. All right, we stop it here. Burrow, he throws the ball, and then he just kind of like goes down. Like, he kind of just,
Smith.
When I saw this on the replay, like, of the touchdown, I was like, oh, he thought because, like, as you can look, it was here, let's go back. It is a low pass. So, like, if you look at this.
To the outside. Reaching down, making the grab, and taking it to the end zone.
Looks like they're attacking these linebackers, which we did the same thing here with Boyd to the linebacker. Roquan Smith slows him down just enough for Joe Burrow to again find that matchup. The back against the linebacker, whether it's
in Baltimore, the Bengals have their first lead of the night. Ooh, Joe, take a look at that. His right hand looked like a sleeve or whatever. Something was going on. They took it down, but clearly you got some sort of an issue here, and we'll get to the bottom of it eventually.
Not only that, this is the play before.
This play right here. This play right here. This was the
got some sort of an issue here, and we'll get to the bottom of it eventually.
Not only that, this is the play before where Clowney hits him and drives him to the ground.
And that hand, Jadeveon Clowney's hand lands on his hand, which was probably the one that caused.
See, that right hand is, I don't know.
It looks fine, obviously, but that was probably most likely the injury. But yeah, it just sucks. It sucks so much. So, don't know what's next, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, last topic. Mark Andrews suffers a season-ending ankle injury. So, Andrews suffered his injury after being tackled by Logan Wilson at the 5-ish yard line, I guess. I also do have a video of this as well. So, we're watching it here.
Rushing yards on the opening drive.
Andrews, 5-yard line gets at least a 3-yard line. It's close to a first down.
Rushing yards on the opening drive.
Kind of like when I see like someone like going like that, like getting that kind of tackle, like I'm just like, oh, their foot's gonna get caught, and it just scares me so bad. Like when I see them get their legs twisted up under someone's body, I'm just holding my breath. It is not a good feeling. All right. There's no way that's. I've seen it. Like,
on the opening drive, Andrews takes it inside the 5-yard line.
You never know, I guess, but you can definitely see he's in pain. Cause like I was looking at the replay, I was like, oh, he's just. When I saw his hand go like this a little bit though, I was like, oh, this is bad. Like, look, he is like shaking.
Andrews is hurt. So Mark Andrews makes the catch, slides inside, and is in agony right now as he gets taken down by Logan Wilson. And the training staff coming out there in a hurry.
Drop tackle. We'll get into that.
Oh, this right here, you can just see his foot. Like, if your foot gets caught under someone's body, yeah, good luck. Good luck not getting injured. Like, his foot right there. Gets caught. I don't really see much there, honestly. I'll put it in slow motion. I don't really see a lot there, honestly. But I can definitely tell that he, like, it's just
hurry.
Drop tackle. We'll get into that later, but in the meantime,
I don't really see much there, honestly. I don't see it a lot. And Lamar Jackson was not happy because he threw his helmet on the ground. Let me see if I can find it. Like, he was not happy.
And Andrews is hurt. So Mark Andrews makes the catch, slides inside, and is in agony right now as he gets taken down by Logan Wilson. And the training staff coming out there in a hurry.
It's never something you want to see.
We'll get into that later, but in the meantime, we got a 2nd down and 1 here.
This video, but you just hate to see that. But yeah, gonna move on to free agency. All right, signings: Jason Pierre-Paul to the Saints, Jack Jones to the Patriots, Bruce Irvin to the Lions, and Michael Carter to the Cardinals. That's free agency. Questions of the week, and this is a Bengals question. How will the Bengals season play out? So, in my opinion, if you stick with Jake Browning, good, because, I mean, we're most likely missing the playoffs, so I would see what Browning's capable of doing in a regular season game, a full regular season game. But then again, like, what about Joe Flacco? I mean, if we want to go to the playoffs, we could get Joe Flacco. I mean, it wouldn't be terrible. But, I mean, he's not terrible. I'm actually still surprised he's in the league, I'm not going to lie. But, in my opinion, I think the Bengals will get at least, I don't know, looking at their schedule, without Joe Burrow, I think we can beat the Steelers, barely. I think barely slide past the Jaguars, in my opinion. We'll beat the Colts. The Vikings, though, I don't know about the Vikings. That's a close one. I don't know about that one. I think we still beat the Steelers. We might lose to the Chiefs without Burrow, obviously. And then I think we might lose to the Browns. Well, we're at home. This last game of the season, no one's really starting. But in my opinion, I can see us winning at least half of the games. I don't see us going to the playoffs at this point. I mean, with the remaining schedule that we have, I mean, we're not going to beat the Chiefs, honestly. I mean, it'd be a miracle if we did. But, yeah, I think we'll barely miss the playoffs, in my opinion. But you never know, I guess. I mean, maybe Joe Flacco just comes up and just goes absolutely crazy, Joshua Dobbs style. But it'd be a miracle if the Bengals somehow got Dobbs. Like, that would be insane. But there's no way they're cutting him. But yeah. Well, that was the episode. The first episode of me being back. But before I go, predictions and recap. I'm not used to this, okay? But we're going to go to the Week 10 recap. So, it was a crazy week. All right, Carolina lost to Chicago Thursday night. New England barely lost to Indianapolis. 10-6 game, ridiculous. Cleveland beat Baltimore. Green Bay lost to Pittsburgh. Jacksonville lost to San Francisco. Minnesota beat New Orleans. Cincinnati lost to Houston. That game absolutely sucked. I did not know what to say or do after that loss. Tennessee beat Tampa Bay. And Detroit beat LA. Atlanta lost to Arizona. I mean, Kyler Murray's back. Kyler Murray is actually back. Dallas creamed into the New York Giants. Seattle won. Las Vegas won. And Buffalo lost to Denver. Like, wow. But that week I went 9-5, and my current record is 87-63 for predictions so far. So Thursday night, Bengals lost, which really sucks. Predictions, though. Pittsburgh at Cleveland, I'm going to take Cleveland. Las Vegas against Miami, I'm taking Miami. Detroit against Chicago, I'm taking Chicago. I have Jacksonville beating Tennessee. Los Angeles Chargers beating the Packers. Houston beating Arizona. Dallas beating Carolina. Washington beating the New York Giants. San Francisco beating the Buccaneers. Buffalo beating the New York Jets. Seattle beating the Los Angeles Rams, just barely though. I think the Rams will put up a good fight. Minnesota beats Denver, and Philadelphia beats Kansas City. A lot of people are saying Kansas City for some reason. I mean, I guess it's Taylor Swift against the Eagles, I guess. Whatever. The rest will probably rig it, honestly. But yeah, I predicted the Bengals to win against the Ravens. That did not go well. So I'm currently 87-63 with my overall record. Not terrible. I'll take it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. A long episode today. I mean, we're back, so there's a lot to talk about. But yeah, hopefully you guys will join in next week, and I'll see you guys next week on Deacon's NFL Talk.